Alright, good morning everyone, anyone watching these videos, and also good morning to my handful of sexy subs. Right now it's 8:06 a.m. My last video actually got quite a bit of views, and I do appreciate anyone watching. Like I said, I'm not really looking for, like, I'm definitely not looking to be like Meet Kevin, or anything like that. I am just a small fish in a big pond that has been beaten down by Mullen. Invested heavily in Mullen March of 2022. Sold a big bag for a loss. Actually, that's not the full truth. But it is. I was trading Mullen from beginning March 2022 up until the end of March 2022 when they went on a 700% run. I ended up making well over six figures, but I was very stupid. I was very naive. I wasn't even a young trader. I was not a trader at all. I didn't know anything about moving averages, price action. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. All that I saw was Mullen was getting a lot of momentum, and I was buying in heavy, and I turned a trade into an investment. I had a average like $4 back in March 30th of 2022, and I should have sold right then and there for a loss, but I did the dumbest thing, or it's really not the dumbest thing. I just did what anyone else would think to do. Is as Mullen was crashing, I just continued to dollar cost average down. January of 2023, Mullen went from 18 cents all the way up to 65 cents. I got my average down to like 57 cents, and I ended up selling. Broke even. But I did the dumbest thing on the planet, and I bought back in, and I held all the way until after the first reverse stock split, sold for a gigantic loss, and I've been slowly swing trading and day trading Mullen since, but I do not have any position in Mullen right now. I would love to make all my money back that I've lost, and I know that so many people out there would love to do the same thing, and I'm praying so hard every single day. I am very appreciative of my life. I'm very appreciative of everything in my life. I try not to have any negativity. I try to focus on positivity. But it's very hard when you're dealing with a stock like Mullen. Everyone has just, there is no person that has profited. I don't even know a single day trader. You get sucked into Mullen. And I ended up selling, a little over a week ago, I was holding a decent position. Close to around 12 grand at my average was a little below $7, and then Mullen just fell off a cliff this past week, which was very unfortunate, and I ended up selling out close to I believe it was like a 25% loss. But I'm looking for the main reason to get back into Mullen, and that is what we all really want to see is production news and collection of revenue. So we're going to go over some morning updates like we've been, and then we're going to be talking about a hard reality that could really be why Mullen is silent. So if you are one of those people out there that have been completely decimated by Mullen, I mean, it's something. We need news right now. We have not gotten any. We need collection of revenue and production news. And the fact that there's no insider ownership, this just screams red flag altogether. Like what the fuck, man. However, short interest is still high, so that's a positivity. Okay, so we did not get any news yesterday. I didn't make a closing video on Mullen, just because nothing really happens. There were so many other good opportunities yesterday, and I'll go over one of them. But yeah, so we haven't gotten any news from Mullen. David has not bought any new shares according to Benzinga. There is no new SEC filings from Mullen, and I believe the outstanding shares is pretty much the same. Not to mention, yesterday's volume was really low, of a little over 200. I think it was like 220K of shares being traded. Significantly low volume, and Mullen ended up not falling off a cliff yesterday. Let's pull up the charts here. Where are we? 1 second. Where are you? Okay. So right now we're on the 1 minute time frame. After hours, Mullen really didn't do anything. Mullen ended up closing yesterday with just below 1%. So we did have a green day on Mullen, barely green. But as you see, the entire day, we basically pretty much just, it was just no volume. Obviously, today, the pivot levels are a lot tighter. If you want to see these pivot levels, you can go on to go on Google, type in bar chart, MULN. It's you don't need an account or pay for anything. Pivot levels are basically averages of the previous day's high and lows, and they're really good for day trading, swing trading, long-term investment. No, you're going to more so look at Fibonacci levels rather than actual pivot levels. But Mullen has made me into a day trader and a swing trader, which is a really positive thing because I've learned a lot from my Mullen PTSD experience. But yeah, yesterday pretty much nothing happened. And as you notice, the days where Mullen has extraordinary low volume, they tend to not sell off or really go up, which is really bullish. Low volume on Mullen is bullish because if they drop news, and if the news is epic and not fluff news, David Mitchery, then the stock ends up running. So right now, we're just really waiting. We're waiting on it. That's all we're waiting on. I think GDP numbers comes out in 17 minutes for today as a economical calendar event. If GDP is positive, then maybe the entire broader market should rally, and hopefully it carries Mullen too. As for the daily time frame, each candlestick here represents 1 day. I really got to clean up some of this mess, but at the same time, I kind of really don't want to. Yeah, we just sewed off a cliff here. So I am not a financial advisor. I am not a 7-figure trader. I am a 6-figure trader though. A very very low six-figure trader. Nothing crazy. But from my experience, seeing something like this where the RSI is beaten on the daily time frame, all we need is news. And we can, anytime, and I've been saying this the last couple of videos, anytime where we have something like this, we fall off a cliff very quickly, we can reclaim all the lost area very quickly. So we can go from 4 to the $7 range extraordinary quickly. You're talking almost a 50% move. All we need is the right news, and the right news is to reinsure people still invested in this company, which, if any of you guys watching or gals that are invested in Mullen that haven't sold, I really am praying for all of you. But I think right now people just want to see production news. Another EV company that went tits up, Fisker or Fissner, whatever, however you pronounce them, they have been delisted from NASDAQ. They're going bankrupt, and there's a lot of fear around the market, around the EV space. Tesla will be fine. They're beyond a profitable company. They're fine. But companies like LCID, Rivian, what's another one? Polestar, Mullen. There's a lot of fear because people are wondering if these vehicles are actually legitimately selling. But I honestly really didn't pay attention to Mullen too much yesterday. We didn't get any news at all, which is unfortunate. But there's other fish out there. Czu, phenomenal. Yesterday, phenomenal. It was just this stock ran like crazy yesterday. I actually ended up taking 2-day trades in this stock yesterday. DT is double tops, and once we break a double top, the double top then becomes a double bottom. I ended up entering. Where is this? Let me pull this up. This was right after market open. Heavy volume comes in from 9:30 up until around 10:45, and I was watching all these exponential moving averages. We're above all the averages, and it was just a beautiful setup. You see all the averages are pointing up, and everything just is looking good. We formed pretty much a double top kind of with these two candles, broke down a little bit, bounced off the 21 EMA support, pushed back over the 9 EMA. I was watching this, and then we ended up trying to get over again, formed a double top, broke back down. I ended up entering this position, and when I typically do a day trade, I'll either enter a day trade with nothing crazy. I'm talking a $3,000 entry, or potentially maybe a $5,000, or even as high as maybe a $7,000 entry, especially if I see something really good. I ended up loving this setup yesterday, and I entered right here with a $5,000 position. And to be perfectly honest, I got lucky. Day trading, I mean, you could have all these indicators, but if stuff is pointed up, generally stuff continues to go up. The MACD also was looking beautiful, so I ended up taking a play here, and I ended up selling right on this candle, but I ended up gaining right below about a 10% profit. And then the stock ended up bouncing up a little bit more, fell off again, but it ended up using this double bottom, which used to be double top. It's kind of like a consolidation area. Ended up gaining up momentum again. I ended up marking this area as a double top from earlier around 10, basically hitting these two areas we got rejected on. Then I entered into another play around this area, and I was basically looking, and I said to myself, okay, we bounced up, broke back down, we're below this previous double top over here, but we're not crashing all the way down, we're kind of consolidating. And then I saw this 2 red candles, and I thought to myself, I'm like, okay, we're kind of pulling back a little bit. 5-minute candle was actually pretty decent in this area. You always want to look at all candle frames. 5-minute candle is still very beautiful around here. And I ended up entering into this area with a smaller position, a $3,000 position instead of a $5,000, because it was, I already did make gains. And typically, if I do trade a stock multiple times, I'll end up entering with a lower position to mitigate losses. Ended up entering here, and I held all the way around this area. I ended up walking away with close to about 14% profit. So I ended up making from this one stock just under about $900. I think it was a little bit over $850 just from day trading. And you look at stocks like Mullen, and the whole reason why, and I'm not trying to be an arrogant asshole, but what I'm literally saying to anyone out there who has been decimated by Mullen, there are stocks that run every single day. Every single day there are stocks that run. This stock is actually currently running like crazy. The stock right now is up by 340%. And all I do is I look on Weeble's top gainers, but yeah, it's like I said, not trying to sound like an arrogant asshole, but every single day there are stocks that run. I was actually fairly busy this morning, but honestly, I would probably have played quite a bit in this, because if you're just looking at moving averages and riding, beautiful moving average all in this area, beautiful. You can catch. So the whole reason I'm saying this once again is do not let Mullen crush your trading mindset and crush your life. From March of 22 up until May of 23, I went all in on Mullen, and I learned such a valuable lesson. One, you don't go all in on a stock, and you literally, there's so many opportunities out there. And then in early 2023, I ended up going to a day trading academy, which I'm very grateful. I was around 7-figure traders that taught, and I ended up telling them my story. I'm like, hey, I was a Mullen bull, and they didn't laugh at me. They didn't degrade me. They said, brother, it's okay. It happens to everyone, and so if you have been completely annihilated by Mullen, don't lose focus of your life and your goals and your dreams. I do believe that there will be a time. I do believe that something can come from Mullen. We're just waiting on the news. But do I believe that you should be running out investing in Mullen? Fuck no. Okay, I like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, but I will say that Mullen is not the type of stock right now. There's just so many red flags. The board owns 0 shares. Why? So it's I can literally sit here and I can talk for hours about this, but let's move on to something else for the main premise of this video. All right, so the main premise of this video is around something that needs to be talked about because it's a harsh reality. Business Dad, I started watching his videos on YouTube back in when he started making them, November of 22, and he, along with so many people, has been crushed by Mullen, and he doesn't even really cover Mullen anymore because there's no point. There's nothing to really. The stock is just not there. There are so many opportunities out there to make money in the market. So many. And if you can day trade a stock or swing trade a stock, at least one stock per week. Let's say that yesterday was a very profitable day for me. Yesterday, I didn't take any trades on Monday or Tuesday. Yesterday, I ended up taking a day trade, and I made my nut. I was very happy, very grateful, and I'm like, you want to know what? Today was good. I'm not gonna push the strings Thursday. Tomorrow, the stock market's closed, I believe, for Good Friday. I believe Easter Monday, the stock market is open, though. Hopefully everyone has a great holiday, whatever holiday you celebrate. If it's Easter, happy Easter, or something else, happy, whatever you celebrate, spend time and get away from the negativity. But it's a harsh reality that we have to face, and this is something that Business Dad posted, and he's been posting these things for a long time now. Obviously, this person is from Randy Marion. I believe his name is Brad. Yep, it's definitely Brad. Even though Business Dad has posted plenty of stuff from Brad before. So this was about 2 weeks ago, March 14th. Hey, how have things been on the Mullen? It hit an all-time low today. Yeah, Mullen's hit new to all-time low, way more than that. Feeling, still selling. Are you able to update on the Class 1 vehicles? I'm at 4, but I can. Awesomely, busy. 10-4. Then we go the next few days. Any updates on those numbers? Remind me in the morning. Got the girls work. Okay, will do. How are those numbers looking? And I guess that is the end of the conversation. No, we did not get a text this morning. I don't think that he texted. I don't honestly know how accurate this stuff is. Sharing went back. How long does it take? Say the valid. He no longer works at Randy Marion. These are. I don't know how accurate this is. What a scam. He's probably under the direction not to disclose any information. Yeah, I do believe this. Heartbreak. Yeah, my heart has been broken by Mullen. I do believe that he's probably getting like, hey, you can't disclose this information. But here's the reality, and this is the main focus of this video. What if these vehicles are not selling? What if these vehicles, the M1, the M3, are just not selling? I mean, sure, Mullen is the only one in the EV space, but just because you're the only one in the EV space making these vehicles doesn't mean that the demand is there. I mean, the whole reason why Tesla sold off after their earnings about a month ago is because they came out saying, hey, the demand right now is not there because of high interest rates, and people are just running out of their savings. They're not rushing out to spend money on a new vehicle, especially an EV vehicle. What if the demand for these vehicles were overhyped? There is a reason why no board members own shares at Mullen. I mean, I don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure this shit out. What if these vehicles are really not selling? What if there is just millions and millions of dollars of vehicles being produced but no buyers? I mean, you look at a company like Fisker, I'm gonna butcher that name. Fistner, wait, Fist. Yeah, I got fisted up my ass by Mullen for sure in the last couple years. But what if these vehicles are just not selling? And maybe that's the reason why we're not getting production update. It's if Mullen posts his news today saying, hey, we have delivered 300 vehicles to Randy Marion. We have invoiced them for another $17 million. Bravo. Me? I'm not going to be feeling bullish at all because you haven't collected revenue. Okay, sure, we got a production update. Hey, hoorah, we got 300 new vehicles being delivered. Is anyone buying these vehicles? Like, we need confirmation of collection of revenue. I mean, there is a reason why Mullen is silent, and it's giving me a lot of anxiety, and it sucks, man. It really does. It's a terrible feeling, especially when you're watching this fucking shit on a daily basis. And at the end of the day, I have like no motivation to post a new video, but like I said, I'm making these videos because I really am hoping and praying that I'm wrong, and I really do hope that all these vehicles are sold out. And the whole reason why we haven't gotten a production update is because David Mitchery is actually a really good guy, and I pray for David. I'm a Christian. I pray for David every single night. I say, like, Heavenly God, please let David have a good day, because if David is having a great day and getting great updates from Randy Marion, then that means that we're going to have a great day. And if David is having a phenomenal time being the CEO of Mullen, and Mullen is kicking ass, that means we're going to be kicking ass as traders, potentially maybe long investors. So I do pray for him, and I do pray that good things come, and I do pray that Mullen becomes a profitable company. But I don't. I don't know. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope, we get a great update. And I pray that David is sitting and waiting for all his ducks in the row. And yeah, that's what I would do if I was the CEO. I would say, let's go ahead and get all of our ducks in a row, and let's drop the bombshell of mother of all news. We just collected millions and millions and millions of revenue. Our vehicles are selling. But every single time that I've thought like that and I bought into Mullen, I have lost money. So at this point, the only real thing to do is just watch. Stay positive, anyone watching this video. And if Mullen does drop news today, I'll be making a new video covering that news. Otherwise, if Mullen doesn't drop news, I don't know if I'm going to be making an evening video. Just have to wait and see. Alright, thank you for anyone watching me rambling on. And hopefully, just remember, there are other stocks out there. There are other ways to make money in the market. Don't let Mullen defeat you. Do not let Mullen take your trading life away from you. Just stay there.